There are certain plays in sports where you will always remember where you were in that moment.
Are you kidding me? It's a Minneapolis Miracle!
Pass is intercepted at the goal line by Malcolm Butler.
There are no flags on the field!
But maybe no moment in NFL history was more grand and more shocking than the play simply known as the helmet catch. What's probably more stunning than the play itself is how David Tyree was even on the field on February 3rd, 2008. So in this video, we're diving into the wild story of David Tyree, and thank you to the Coldest Water for sponsoring this video. In middle school, David Tyree was already struggling with alcohol. By his junior year in high school, he celebrated every game with a 40-ounce bottle of malt liquor, a half pint of Jack Daniel's whiskey, while smoking a blunt. At Syracuse, he would often drink until blacking out. But on the football field, he could still produce. He was a stud special teamer and productive target on offense. And despite the off-the-field issues, the Giants still figured he was worth the risk, as they took him in the 6th round of the 2003 draft. And Tyree quickly made an impact as the NFL's Special Teams Rookie of the Year. But things went downhill just as quickly as they had gone up. Tyree continually showed up late to team meetings and was handed fine after fine, so in order to make up the money back on those fines, he resorted to drug dealing while playing in the NFL. In 2004, police arrested him after finding half a pound of weed in his car. As he sat in jail, all he could wonder was if this was the end of his career. Things spiraled even more out of control as Tyree claimed he was the devil and was hearing voices, which soon placed him in a psych ward. His girlfriend gave him an ultimatum, and Tyree quit drinking as he focused on turning his life around. The Giants held on to him, and he quickly became a Pro Bowl special teamer. He did hardly anything on offense. In fact, in 2007, he had just 4 catches all year. And in December of that year, his mother passed away. He had already been injured earlier that season, and this would obviously cause him to miss more time from the team. But still, at the beginning of that season, Tyree told teammates something special would happen that year. When he returned to the team for the final game, something special did happen that day, but it was on the other sideline. Tom Brady and Randy Moss broke the passing and receiving touchdown record, as the Patriots finished as the only team in history to go 16-0 in the regular season. Meanwhile, Tyree ended that day with 2 catches for 3 yards. But even though the team couldn't top the vaunted Patriots that day, they were still in the playoffs as a wildcard team. The magic then began to arise, as New York pulled out 3 consecutive victories on the road, with the biggest upset coming over the 13-3 Packers in the NFC Championship. Next, they were set for a rematch against the now 18-0 Patriots in Super Bowl 42. For Tyree, though, he had just 1 catch for 4 yards as a playoff total. And in the practice leading up to that Super Bowl, Tyree didn't have a good day, with 1 pass even bouncing off his helmet. It seemed the Giants just didn't have enough firepower to keep up with the greatest offense in NFL history, and, well, Tyree, he was an afterthought. Still, the Giants actually matched up with the undefeated Patriots as well as any team could. And they had the perfect game plan along with the personnel to get that all-important pressure up the middle. So with the defense able to slow down an offense that hadn't been slowed down all year long, it was now up to Eli Manning to score just enough points to put the Giants over the top. And his offense did a good job using up the clock, but they weren't scoring many points. The Patriots were leading 7-3 at the end of the 3rd. Minutes into the 4th, though, Manning found Tyree for his 5th ever touchdown in the league. That appeared to be the something special Tyree predicted. I mean, how could he get any better than a go-ahead touchdown in the Super Bowl? Well, after a Brady to Moss touchdown, the Giants needed another miracle. With just a minute 20 left, Manning goes back to Tyree, but it's overthrown, and Asante Samuel drops the interception to seal perfection. Then on the very next play, it happened.
He's in trouble. He's spun around. He's able to get away. Looks to throw. He does downfield, and a leaping catch is made down at the 25. What a play. David Tyree.
It took a perfect play to ruin perfection. Eli Manning somehow escaped the sack, and David Tyree somehow escaped his personal demons to be on the field and make the greatest play in NFL history. A miracle catch that would set up the game-winning touchdown. Funny enough, Tyree actually wasn't sure what went down on that play until he watched the replay later at the team hotel. And just to further add to this storybook ending, that would be Tyree's final catch of his career. In 2008, he spent the season on injured reserve, and in 2009, he played for the Ravens, but solely as a special teamer. After his NFL career, Tyree originally worked for a friend doing payroll finances. Still, he felt lost after football. It wasn't until 2011 that Tyree received a call from the league as part of an initiative to help inner-city football programs. In 2012, Tyree was on the sideline once again, as the Giants defeated the Patriots in Super Bowl 46. 2 years later, the team hired Tyree as the Director of Player Development. He was once the player you would point to not be like, but now he was mentoring younger players into what they should be like. In 2017, Tyree did an interview with Sports Illustrated. He kind of buried his greatest play, the NFL's greatest play. His house had no TV, his kids had no smartphones or video games, and living a lifestyle like that would be why Tyree pretty much disappeared from the public eye. In 2020, the Giants restructured part of their front office, and Tyree was let go. But later that year, he and his family opened up a franchise for a premium juice bar called Clean Juice. He's focused on building the business through the product and not his celebrity image, but he has said that he will sign autographs if customers ask. His wife manages the store and his kids help work the blenders. And this year, Tyree is once again making the best of his opportunities. After New Jersey became the first state to hit $1 billion worth of sports bets in a single month, MSG Networks announced it would premiere a betting show called Odds with Ends, starring Tyree and his former teammate, Matthias Kiwanuka. The show's goal is to go through every NFL matchup every week, with Tyree and Kiwanuka providing a betting analysis through the lens of former players. This is also the most public Tyree has been since Super Bowl 42, so if you're a Giants fan, you gotta love seeing his face every week on your screens as a little feel-good reminder of the helmet catch. Tyree has said in the past that he receives 10 to 20 letters a week from fans, even years after that play, so he can do all the moving on he wants, but Giants fans aren't gonna let him forget the play that ended a perfect season.